I'm texting my kids, telling them to get on Zoom.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me over there? Okay, so we're just gonna do a sound check. 1, 2, 3. Everybody online. Can hear me? Worker guy over there in the corner. You good? Okay. All right. So we have a form. There's how many online? Online. You haven't signed in. You're signing. Oh, okay. So we'll have Jennifer, Wilson, and Matt are going to get started. And whoever's in the kitchen, I appreciate everyone being here. I think we have an agenda. If you don't have an agenda, there's one in the back. And if you need one, just don't spell, or someone may have one sitting next to you. So today is October 28th, 2023. Here it is.
Yeah, it is.
Now you get everybody up. Is that good? So this is Katie. He's a new guy on the mic over here. Apologize, or just like we are. It's October the 28th, 2023. Here at the Caddo Nation, this is our tribal leadership meeting order, and it's and we're going to call the meeting of order at 10:25. Ask Peg O'Neill to lead us in the word of prayer, and she's a Fort Cobb representative, and would like to have her come up and start us off with a prayer. If you could turn that down just a bit.
Good morning. Thank you for being here. I'm going to reach up into the heavens and speak to our Father. Father God, thank you for this day. Thank you that we all arrived here safely. Thank you for all the families that are represented here. We thank you for the season, that this season is the season of the harvest, and that you bring in so much bountiful things to the Caddo Nation. And we thank you. And we thank you that we can take these things that you've given us and put them to use to work for our tribe's betterment and for the future and for the time being. We just praise you and give you honor and glory. I ask you to put your hand upon the people that aren't here, that are ill or have someone in their family that they're taking care of, Father. And I just ask you to supernaturally touch their bodies, touch their minds, soul, spirit, and make them every whit whole. We thank you for the Caddo Nation. We ask your blessings upon it in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Appreciate that, Kay. Thank you very much. So with that, we have the minutes. I don't know if Matt, did you make copies of the minutes? Okay, if everyone wants to look at those minutes and go over them, and then if there's no corrections, or if you don't have any corrections, we're going to give you a little bit to look at them, and someone can make a motion to approve them. Then we can move on. A motion's been made to accept the minutes by Michaela Meeks, seconded by Eric Travis Guy. All in favor, say aye. And those that are online, if you could raise your hand in the chat box, or however you need to do that on your end. Thank you. Raise your hand. What's that? Is there any no's or anyone abstain? Those that are online? If everyone can bear with us, we're counting folks online as well. So the motion carries 13-07. The minutes has been approved. And thank you for those that are online and those that are in the room. And we'll just go ahead and get started. I appreciate everyone being here. What I didn't realize, and someone made it a point to let me know, is that OU football games and membership meetings, I guess they don't go hand in hand. So I guess OU plays at what, 11 o'clock? 11 o'clock. And so the council may beat me up this time instead of the membership if we don't get done. So I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you for being online as well. We're just going to jump into old business. There were some items that was mentioned during the last membership meeting from members that we looked into, just to kind of update. The U.S. Postal Service mailboxes there at the Regency Oaks. There was some concern that they wouldn't be put in, and we looked into that. We actually have the new boxes. It's up to the U.S. Postal Service to slate a date when they can erect those. I guess that's a U.S. Postal Service thing. We didn't know that. We acquired all the equipment. We know where they're going to go. So the box is here, and U.S. Postal Service is supposed to get all that taken care of. They'll take care of it legally, how they need to do that. And those are going to be placed at Regency Oaks. Also related to Regency Oaks, we've been working on some plumbing issues, and we got the plumbing issues resolved. And we're also looking at doing a lot of work in the area of the whole Regency back end of the facility. The grade of the dirt is not, we need to correct it. It has a lot of flooding. Some of the houses were almost flooded. Some of the concrete is going to have to be replaced. There has to be a wall built. We have to fix the grade. We have to fix the whole back end. We've met with the electric company and everyone involved, the city. We have a plan to fix it and fix it right. So it can save the foundation as well there at Regency Oaks, because the water's been cutting in underneath not only the concrete slabs that holds the AC units, it's also been cutting underneath the building as well. So with all the rain that we have had in the last couple of days, we diverted the water, and hopefully we can get on that and have it fixed soon. So just kind of a little update about Regency Oaks. Also, we're looking at providing a generator for that area, as well as shelters, because we have people that need access to electric when the power goes off. They may have medication, they may have other needs and medical needs, and you have to have electric. So there's some of those things that we need to work on, and we also have to have a place where they can shelter and be protected as well. So those are some of the things going on at Regency Oaks. The old community building, we started repairing internally the building. Right now, it's all the electrics going in, and the bathrooms are being taken out. The whole internal old community building will really be nice. It's going to have wood. We're doing everything we can to preserve the Native American painting over the wall and leaving that in place.
It's being treated as a real sacred site. It's being treated by everyone that handles that building, very sensitive to the fact that we have a culture that still exists that use that building. And we have feelings related to that building. And so our maintenance guys and we're demoing that ourselves because it's getting colder. So we're able to do that internally instead of having the guys out cutting grass and doing those things. We're working internally and helping us finish getting the building out so we can have new walls, new electric, and all new AC, and have a really nice place with showers and the restrooms and stuff that needs to be done. So just so that everyone knows that that's being taken care of. And we're hoping that this spring that you'll have a new place, but it's old as well, for us to continue to take care of our traditions there in the Oak Community Building. The naming of buildings, it's came up several times about naming buildings after individuals or individuals within families that are Caddo. Just so that everyone knows, we've looked at working out a process related to nominating buildings and roads. As you know, we're growing. We're going to need to name roads and buildings probably more and more. So when we have the process set, our members will know not only internally but online as well. I know that in our last meeting, there's been some conversation more than once about the VA and working out a memorandum of understanding with DC related to housing needs. That's across the board related to veterans. It's not just one veteran. It's more than just one. It's a real need. I know we've reached out to the VA. As a matter of fact, the vice chair reached out to the VA the other day about some grant opportunities. So we're trying to get that taken care of. Hopefully we can talk to them and create a memorandum of understanding that we're going to at least talk once a year, see about their programs, what they provide, so that they can start helping our members. Some of you are in this room that's been real vocal about that. And so stay tuned. We may even need your help to, when we start having these meetings, to meet directly with the VA related to your needs. So that is underway. We also talked about mineral rights related to tribal and trust lands and having a meeting here. I did meet with the BIA related to having a meeting. Right now, they're still short staffed. You will be, real glad to know that we're doing everything we can to look at all the fractionated interest of the tribe that relates to oil, gas, and other minerals, as well as the land base and how it's fractionated, and doing an audit on all the land and the resources that we own, so that we can create our own land realty department as well as the oil and gas department, and help our members when they have questions about their fractionated interest in oil and gas, or surface lease agreements, whatever it may be. So be looking out for after the first of the year. The BIA did say that they're more than willing to help us host a meeting here. I let them know that we had all the equipment in the world to do it. And so it's just a matter of time to schedule them. And they're willing to have the Office of Special Trust in Denver out here to work with us. I contacted them as well. They're willing to come on site and even help us map some of the stuff that we need mapped in. Also, there's been town hall meetings about our Constitution reform in different districts across the state. I don't know if we had any out of state yet. I think a lot of that is surveys online, and that's being led by Todd Goodman. And we hope that you can get out in your community and ask a million questions. The Constitution of the tribe is a living Constitution. It is subject to change, but change is not easy. But change is inevitable. And I think John F. Kennedy echoed some of those words about change. But it's up to each one of you online, those that are not online, that are in Road Caddo, and those that are in this room, to let us know through this process what your thoughts are, good, bad, indifferent, or you may not even know what question to ask. But if you get involved, we're sure by the time we hear collectively from all our members throughout the country, or actually throughout the world, as we move forward with constitutional reform, we'll get a better understanding of what it is we heard, what it is that we're looking for. And at the end of the day, that'd be wrapped up by scholars in writing what they heard from the people, not what they heard from the tribe, not what they heard from the tribal leadership or the tribal chair, what they heard from you. That's how important this is. This is about you. This is about your family. This is about our members, our children behind us, generations to come. So please get involved in the town hall meetings and also your district meetings. If you have any questions, ask them. That's what they're there for. Just wanted to mention that. Also, we had some members that were here last time. One of our elders asked about WCD lands and those issues that have been going on for years related to land recognition or disputes. We have Steve Ward here. He is our senior lead counsel and federal lawyer. You can raise your hand, Steve. Steve's sitting right here to answer any of those questions if you have any questions related to that. Also, just want to mention those things so it didn't die on deaf ears, those that are online. And we might have missed some things, but just let us know. New business, really kind of excited about that. And I'm going to turn it over to you to say what you'd like to say. If you come up to the microphone, then that would be easier. We can bring the microphone. It's just a few of us here, you know, and everyone online, but you still count. This still, we need, even if it was one, one's better than none. And you're the, you know, I was always told that the most important person is sitting in your seat. And we appreciate you being here. So new business, the update on childcare and the community center. We're going to watch a short film related to that here in just a second. And economic development is kind of tied into that film. And we mentioned George's department store and acquiring that at our last membership meeting. It was on the agenda. So just so that everyone knows, November 1st, we take full ownership of George's department store. It's the oldest clothing store in the city of Anadarko. It's been there for 110 years. It's been operating for 78 years by the same owner. The Caddo Nation, being able to own that, will be able to help provide social services really in a different way. It allows us that we have tribal members that have families, you know, like if you have kids, grandkids, maybe yourself, maybe you're trying to go back to work, maybe you're in need of some help, maybe it's just part of that life journey you're on, and you come to the tribe and maybe you need a pair of shoes, pair of socks, maybe the kids need something to wear at school. We're going to have our own place to where you can take a coupon or a card that we'll provide to you to go down to our own clothing store. It may not be Dillard's, it may not be Walmart, it may not be JCPenney, but it's the Caddos. And you're able to go there and you're able to provide them this gift card or in your name. You won't be paying retail price, but you'll get something really, really nice that you can buy anywhere else. And it will provide for those families that are in real need, because we do have families that they've lost everything. Some people are staying in vehicles. They don't have anywhere to go. Some people are on the street, and some don't have homes, and some don't have the resources to provide clothing. And so we're really glad to be able to take ownership of George's department store on November 1st and provide for our members the essentials that they need in their life, or at least be able to help. With that said, in providing social service needs to our members, and during the school year, if you don't know, during the school year, we help all our children 0 to 17 years of age. And there was so many dollars. It was like $100 for this age, 150 for this age bracket, and I think 200 or 250 for this age bracket. The tribal government set aside over $200,000 out of the local fiscal state and recovery funds. It's grant dollars that we received to help our community, and there was over $200,000 that went out to these children, 0 to 17 years of age, across the world, that went to help with clothing. And so that really eradicated the fact that we needed to do something locally within a 100-mile radius because, you know, we have hundreds and hundreds of families that could use the help. And by having our own store, we're able to buy from ourselves. We're able to have our own place to go. So we're really excited about that. Just so that everyone knows, you'll have a new place that you could say that you own. So that's with that. And that's part of, you know, that economic development as well, is you're buying from yourself. And then we're looking at an economic development building on Broadway in Anadarko. It's a really old historic building. If we can capture that building, then that will serve as our economic development building that will house our companies that the tribe has started to progress in. And some of those companies will move towards 8A certification with the U.S. government. And while we watch a film, I'll explain a little bit about that. And then just so that everybody knows in this room and online, the tribe has hit a new pinnacle in the tribe's history. We're no longer just a small tribe. We're a medium-sized tribe. There's people watching us every day, and especially the U.S. government and agencies and what we do, and even the state. So I will be glad to let everybody know that the Caddo Nation has its own fire district that was approved by the state of Oklahoma. So from I believe I know what side it's on. It's on the north side of Gold River Casino in Anadarko to 152 and 281 here at the Binger Y. 2 miles west of the highway on both sides, east-west, from the Delaware, basically the Delaware complex on the north side, to 1 mile to the west, 1 mile to the east, all the way to the complex. The state of Oklahoma recognizes the Caddo Nation as having their own fire district. And the it's the Association of the State Fire Chiefs. They had to approve that as well. And that got approved. There's a lot of work that went involved with that. So what does that mean for the tribe? That means that since we have our own fire district, we're going to have our own fire department. That means we're going to have our own EMT service with our own drivers. And I'm sure they'll have to have probably their CDLs and driving a fire truck, Travis. And so just so that everyone knows that building is looking, it's looking like we're going to build a new fire station on 10 acres in Anadarko on the old KRPT road. Right now, we're looking at acquiring the dollars and the grants and all the money that can go with that, fire trucks. It'll be a state-of-the-art fire station, which means that if something happens in this district, we can respond like anyone else. We'll be able to respond to any fires within our own tribal area with and that's important. When I got here 2.5 years ago, there was a fire, and it almost took out these houses here that were Caddo houses. It took forever just to get pump trucks here, and we don't want to be in that situation again. Not to mention that since we have our own fire district, everyone that lives in this area, 2 miles, collectively, north-south, and then from the Delawares all the way to the Binger Y. If you live in this area, and whether, regardless of what ethnicity you are, your insurance premium is going to go down. And the reason it's going to go down is because we can respond to those fires once we start. And not only that, it's a lot of help we're going to get building this fire station. And we're glad to have that help. I'm going to pick on one of our neighboring tribes, the Quapaw Nation. They have 3 fire stations and they can respond to as EMTs and or to fires. They have 3 of them, and we're glad to know that Steve Ward, I believe, I don't know how long ago, it was 20 years, maybe 10 years ago, helped the Quapaw do that, and he knows what it takes. It takes a little legal work, but you guys, just so that everyone knows in this room and online, the state recognizes the tribe having its own fire district, which means the federal government recognizes that as well. And we're working with the Bureau and getting our pump trucks in line with them. And when they run, they're also being paid, but we're able to respond. So thank you, council, for that and the membership. Court system, we're working on that, having our own court system and our own justice system. And we have really come a long ways. They've been here, the federal government's been here to evaluate the tribe and having its own court system and its own judges. And there's a whole process related to that. And so they're working on that heavily. And we should be hearing a response from the U.S. government on moving that forward. And when we meet all the criteria and what they want, and then they'll tell us, yeah, you're able to create your own and have your own judge and take care of that. The Delawares have their own court system, and you know, we're looking at doing the same so that we can be independent, have our own court system, have our own fire station, have our own community economic development process, have our own store, have our own gas, have our own land. If, you know, if worse comes to worse, we all know we can go fish, we can catch some fish and eat. It's basically becoming sustainability. It's all about sustainability and doing what we can to help the tribe economically as well. So we talked about a transportation center here with Federal Highways and the BIA, and we're working with them right now and developing a transportation center here to provide transportation facilities for not only for our parking lots and for our purposes here, but also providing assistance in building county roads and bridges. I'll talk a little bit about that. But right now, if you can just give me a second, I really appreciate everyone being here. We got a short film. We want to show you just kind of the progress that we've made with the Child Care and Community Center. And it's really, really nice that it's put together. And then I'll talk a little bit more, then I'll turn it over to you. You want to show the film? I was told that kids are not given to you so that you can raise them. They're given to you so that they can raise you.
And that worldview is informed by these values and beliefs that go all the way back to our origin stories about take care of each other, you know, be good to each other, be kind to each other, look out for each other, teach each other. That's ancient.
All of Northeast Texas, all of Southwest Arkansas, all of Northwest Louisiana, all of Eastern Oklahoma is our Aboriginal homeland. So where we're at today is our tribal jurisdiction recognized by the United States government and Congress. However, our hearts and minds are in our homelands as well.
Because we're all different tribal nations, First Nations, Aboriginal group. The effects of colonization are felt throughout the world, and it's caused a lot of historical trauma.
I'm looking at and remembering the children that are currently in our camp and their family journeys that kind of brought them here. And then what parts of Native American history have they been affected by, right? Was it boarding schools? There's some families that have been a part of the Relocation Act.
Back in the early 80s when it started, we had nothing. I mean, we were starting from the bottom, nothing, just the little shack building we had.
The number one thing was we want a building. How do we get a building?
We are willing to do the extra work to deliver the best for our children.
Every single thing we try to do is quality. We make sure that we're setting the standard. We're not just giving people the bare minimum.
The tribe, their vision and forward thinking, and Mass Design Group who came on board, that relationship with them was invaluable.
the accessibility that we're providing families is empowering because our families just usually don't have access to the quality of care that they're going to be receiving from this facility.
Ensuring that there's a library so that if a mother is going to school or if she is taking night classes, if she wants her child to go to the facility and she wants to go in that library and study, then you don't have to leave the facility to go somewhere else. You can actually be there with your child.
It is very much geared towards community, kind of intergenerational learning and children learning within community.
They have the elders come in and tell stories to them and teach them the traditions and the cultures of our people, because a lot of the children don't get that from their parents.
We are in a farming community, and our own children that we're sending to schools have no context to the fields that they're driving by on a daily basis. I want our children to understand what healthy food options are. I want them to understand why they're healthy food options.
Having an area where people can play basketball, play sports, do things like that, having a garden.
We have 7 tribes that have their headquarters within like a 40-mile radius that have their own populations that have completely different structures and cultures.
When the child care team started talking about constructing this facility, one of the things that I knew right away is that we have to build it ourselves. And the way that we can do that is by creating the avenue in the business to make it work. And by doing that, we're turning the money back over and keeping as much of the resources within our community, within our tribe. We're going to build a company. We're going to acquire the land. We're going to construct with federal dollars. We're going to buy the land with federal dollars and marry them up. And then we're going to create a company that creates a subsidiary that builds it. And we're going to turn the dollars over and hire our own people and train them at the same time. And when you put your minds together and you're all on the same page, then it becomes reality. And you just go to work and keep that faith.
All of our efforts are culminating in the fact that more Caddo people want to come home and be involved. And we couldn't ask for anything more than that, because tribal participation is really the end goal to everything that we're doing.
We have had to be resilient for so long, providing a safe space for children to set their baggage down that they don't even realize they have. The families to come in and just be happy with their kids is what I hope for in this space, because they're going to have to go out in the world and continue to be resilient.
When I'm no longer here, and I move on to that other world after leaving this earth here that I'm passing through, this place will be here for the future.
Hey, thank you, Richard. You think so?
I'll make the tribe better.
I appreciate everyone taking the time to watch that, just so that everyone knows online as well as in this room. We all need each other. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't for our language that we have, our culture, our traditions, our ceremonies, and how we take care of those things, we wouldn't be a tribe. By being self-sufficient, we're able to help a lot of different tribes as well as our own. I'll bring that up. I'll just provide an example. Childcare there's 19 counties, I believe they serve. Is that right, Mike? 19 counties. And these counties, they're providing services for all these Native Americans. You don't have to be enrolled Caddo. As long as you fit the bill, the United States government provides those services where the child care facility is able to help offset costs related to child care needs. It's all based on need. And one of the things that we've noticed is child care buys a lot of Nike shoes, right? I have no idea how many pair of shoes you guys bought and things like that. But we're able to have a store now that we have our own shoes that we can buy from, right? Riverside Indian School has over 450 kids across the country from reservations and from tribal areas around the United States. And I visited with Riverside Indian School about being able to provide clothing needs to their kids because they have to buy from a Native American. It's called the Buy Indian Act, and it's government money. And so they've identified us, and they're looking forward to working with us to provide clothing needs for not only the kids at Riverside Indian School, also a lot of the tribes buy Skechers for their diabetic members, and they'll be buying those there at our store as well. And we'll continue working with those tribes. There's actually accounts with those tribes, Comanches, Kiowas, the Delawares, Fort Sill Apache, the Caddo, the Apache tribe, all the tribes locally. And so we're really looking forward to working with all the tribes and all the different programs and providing those needs as they buy stuff. They'll be able to buy from a clothing store that's owned by a Native American tribe. So we're really glad about that. So that's how that works, right? And so just wanted to show that film. And with that said, again, we're doing everything that we can to be self-sufficient. And so that way we can hire our own people and create the jobs that we need to create so that we can perpetuate our culture and who we are as a people. I think I'm going to turn it over to anyone on the floor. We have a small group here, then anyone online. And if you want to address the council, if you'd like to say something, if you can come up to the mic, because then they can see you and hear you. And then we'll take some questions online as well. Anybody wants to be a superstar, you can come up, and we got 7,000 people that can watch you, you know, good, bad, or indifferent. You're on air. So.
First, I'd like to say, my name's Eric Guy. I'm the Pro Drive CDO Academy tribal liaison for our school. They asked me to come down and address the council and the chairman. We want to tell you all many wit for allowing the tribe to send tribal members up to our school. We have graduated, well, 7, but I have one getting ready to graduate on Monday from our school. These 7 that I have on my list, I'm gonna read out their names. Avery Hunter Ellis, he's from Georgia. Jimmy Lyles from El Reno, Oklahoma. Austin Lawless from El Reno. Dakota Moore from Moore, Oklahoma. Romero Espinola, Oklahoma City. Chase Butler, Gracemont, Oklahoma. Dylan McDonald, Oklahoma City. These guys, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are working. 3 of them are well, Dakota waiting back for waste management be approved. The other 2 are waiting on dates to get into Warner. One's waiting to be approved by BK out of Sioux City, Iowa, to go to work. Part of my job is I have to talk to these guys, I do their intake. A lot of these people I got to know, and I got to tell you, they want to make a change, and they these guys are very pumped and stoked about them getting their CDL. And I asked them before I came down here, because I called them all, and I asked them, what would y'all want me to tell the council and the chairman? They said, tell them they're thankful for y'all giving them a second chance. And this, what they got is their CDL is going to help them better their lives, better the families. Most of all, they said it gave them more pride. They said they don't have to look for work. And I'm going to tell you now, I've been in this business for 30 years, and my mother will tell you right there, I've never done without a job since I got my CDL back in 95. I always had a job because of my CDL. And I tell these guys when I talk to them, if you keep your CDL clean, keep it upright, go do your DOT physical, you have a job for the rest of your life. And these guys are very proud. The one from Georgia, I got to know him quite well. Matter of fact, he's my nephew. He's very proud of what he's doing down there in Georgia. He's working part-time with FEMA. And if y'all know what FEMA is a government people that rerun stuff for disaster areas, and he enjoys that. He really likes that. But again, like I said, these guys, they want me to tell y'all many thanks. And if it wasn't for y'all to help them, let them come to our school. Another thing, Pro Drive CDL Academy, we want to give a big thanks to Carol Botone. We couldn't do this without Carol Botone helping us and being where we're at. She's a big part of y'all, and we would like to acknowledge her. We will be getting her a gift from the school. So with that being said, our school opened back in May. We had 70 people. We have graduated 58 people. That's quite a big number for our school. Our school, we compete with 7 different other schools here in Oklahoma. And with them 7, a lot of them are mad at us because what we do and how we train. We take one student, we take, not one student, we take 4 to 5 students to one instructor. And that's how we train them. By the end of the day, when they get done with our training program, they're already mad at us. And it's not because we're not training them, we're not teaching them right. They're mad because their legs are cramped. They're getting in 15 to 20 maneuvers in a day. If you go to 6 other different schools in the state of Oklahoma, you will be lucky to get 2 maneuvers in a day. That's why our program is the best. State of Oklahoma has knowledge us for that. Every time we go test, we test. We get a one and done, or we get somebody go back the next day and complete the program. Like I said, I just didn't want to take up y'all's time, but I did want to let y'all know all school really appreciate y'all. Overall, we have Caddos, we've got Kiowas, we've got Comanches, Wichitas, Delawares, Creeks, Cherokees, Choctaws, Chickasaws, Otos, Poncas, CNA, and 2 Northern Cheyenne, 1 Osage, and 1 Pawnee, and 1 Call at our school. So I just wanted to let y'all know our school really appreciate y'all. and we appreciate, y'all helping us out as much as y'all do. So.
That's great news. You know, with Yellow Trucking, uh, if you haven't watched the news, Yellow Trucking went down. That's the biggest trucking company in the United States, actually in North America. Over 33,000 jobs gone in one day. 22,000 of those individual were union jobs. So if you notice, the Caddo Nation has a semi sitting outside. The nation owns that. The reason we own it is because we have to go after food. We have to go after stuff that we need. We have our own truck. We have our own truck to do that. And the other thing is that as we're building economically, we're building our first ever road project. What does that mean? There's the county in Caddo County here in this district. We have a tribal jurisdiction. Okay, it comes from the Washita, the south banks of the Washita River, all the way to the north banks of the Canadian River. It's called a tribal jurisdiction. Federal highways provide dollars for the tribe, all the tribes in their jurisdiction, to prioritize roads, to develop roads. We're building a child care and community center, and it needs a new road. We're going to have probably 30 plus teachers there at one point, Mike, right? And all the kids from going there and our community using that building, we have to have a safe school bus route. The county, Caddo County commissioners let a request for proposal out to construct that new road with curbs and gutters and all that. Because the tribe was preemptive and the Caddo tribal government started an economic development authority who created Arrowwood, which is a construction company 100% owned by the tribe that has over 200 years experience in building stuff, which is really, really cool because there are a lot of tribal people now working in that company that are Caddo. We're building our first road ever within our district for $3.4 million. The Caddo County Commissioners approved our bid. We had to bid for it. There was 3 other contractors who bid for that project. We were awarded the project by the county commissioners. It was in the newspaper, front page. I don't know if you've seen it locally. And we're going to build our first road. And we partnered with a neighboring tribe, which is the Wichita affiliated tribe, to get that done. And it's federal highway money and Wichita affiliated tribes dollars that are building it. And our own company called Arrowwood Truck was a successful bidder with the county commissioners. So we just signed the contract with the county commissioners, and the district attorney has to sign off on that. So that the district attorney, along with the county commissioners and Arrowwood being owned by us, I signed that agreement to build our first road for $3.4 million. Was able to get that project bonded and insured, which was a task and monumental in itself. We had to go through a lot of red tape. We appreciate Steve Ward and Connors and Winters helping us get that done. We appreciate the council and everyone that's listening and those people that are out there helping us build this facility. Over 100 employees at our Caddo today, and 1/3 of them are descendants of the tribe or enrolled. And we're going to continue to. I'm going to hand this over to Arlene. She's an elder. I'm going to pick one. And Arlene, if you want to say anything before anyone comes up here and speaks, I'm going to bring this to you and take the microphone back up there. But I think you might be a little older than most of us.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to say, I retired in 2013, and at that time I used to try to come to these meetings, and I have to tell you that they were, some of it was a free-for-all, not like fist fighting free-for-all, but the arguments, and there were some people on the council that would say, okay, I'm resigned, I'm out of here. Yeah, this is for true. And so now then, we have a council that listens. We have a chairman, and I'm not just trying to get kudos or anything, but I think we need to recognize that we have a good council. They work hard. They have meetings to let people know what's going on. Our chairman has brought us into some great, I don't even have the words for it. I mean, we now have things that belong to us that we can be proud of, that it's got our name on. And a lot of it is because the council allow people like me to speak. You know, because I'm not college educated or anything like that. I worked hard all my life, but I don't have the big words to tell everybody how great you are. Anyway, just wanted to say kudos to you guys and the chairman, even though he said I was old. I'm not going to. I haven't reported.
Is there anyone else that'd like to appreciate that, Arlene? If you'd like to say something, I'm going to put the mic up here, and feel free to come up and be a part of our tribe. And we're reconnected now, but trust me, take my word for this. I will be talking to everyone I can, including the U.S. Attorney's Office, our cybersecurity people, and you name it, about how we just got hacked. Okay. Michaela.
Hi, I'm Michaela Meeks. I was just want to let y'all know I've been in touch with Veterans United. I'm sure y'all all know them. About this MOU. The MOU basically that needs to be signed with the tribe. It deals with contractors coming out onto our land and the loans that are provided to the veterans, all the issues that involve with that. Now they mentioned to me if we had our own contractors, do we have our own contractors that can build houses, that can take down houses? If we did that, they said they'll give me a conventional loan with that, since we're not have the MOU to pay the contractors. So that would just be putting money back in the tribe, I would think. You know, if they'll give me the money to pay the contractors for the rebuild, tear down and rebuild, then that's another option that they offered for me. Also, just letting y'all know that like the National Guard or the Army Reserves, I was in a round table with some of the military officials a while back. They need to make their quota. So they reach out to the community, and they would love to reach out to tribes on helping us with projects for the community. Because like I said, they got to make their quota to send their people out to help, the community. So that'd be another option too, if y'all want to look into that. Maybe Kelly could look into that, or I mean, I could. It's been a while since I've gotten all these meetings, but I know I could probably do it too. I just need a point of contact for them to contact. Other than that, that's all. Thank y'all. Y'all have been doing good, and I only complain so much because I know y'all can get it done. So, and I know y'all are good. So thank y'all.
So, wow, that's up. Okay. So just so that everyone knows, I want to talk a little bit and then I'm gonna turn it over to Steve. Steve came a long ways. He can shed some light on WCD lands related to those that are on there. The tribe we have to have a presence. Anadarko is a Caddo word. Our chief named that town before it ever became Anadarko. Nadako, a place of the black bug. We have a lot of history there. First yearbook in Caddo County in Anadarko in 1901, it said Caddo yearbook, but yet Caddos haven't had a presence. But being able to acquire Gracemont store in Gracemont, it's the only store in that town, and we have members that live there. That store is almost paid for itself today. It's a really, 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 really great thing. We're really happy about that. It's almost paid for itself in less than 6 months. McKee's Indian store has done really, really well. It's done so well that it has thousands of followers and continues to grow. The people that we bought that from were retiring. They knew us and they wanted us to succeed. They turned it over to us after since 1962. The store at George's Apartment Store, they turned it over to us after 78 years, the oldest clothing store in Anadarko. The Caddos are going to be able to say that they own the oldest clothing store in the city that still operates in the city, and being able to provide services to all the tribes and continue that. That store does really well. And we believe that that's going to take care of itself economically in just a matter of months. And so we're really glad to know that just being able to invest in the community where we can provide jobs and a service to our community, that those things are paying for itself. The good thing is that all that's just grant dollars that we're going after to buy those and to acquire those, and not one dime has been spent of tribal money. So it's really, really great. And Michaela, I really appreciate you talking about the VA. We may ask you to come help us with a small little group related to group sessions to talk about the needs with our members that are veterans, because we need people in the community like yourself to talk to those members as we look toward the VA helping us. So I really appreciate you being here. I know you got that report. We can talk about that report later, but I'm glad you're here. And if you wouldn't give me a hard time, I know I wouldn't be doing something right. So I appreciate it. With that said, I think that we're going to be eating pretty soon. And yes,
Is the Zoom back open?
yes.
Okay, because people are texting.
Yeah, there's somebody that wanted to make a mistake.
Right, there's people texting who don't know that it's back open.
Oh, so yeah, it's reconnected.
Is that?
Yeah, she should be. She was on it.
She was,
Yeah, she can get on there.
but she's not now.
I guess not. I don't know. 8 people reconnected. They just have to sign on again.
Yeah, but they don't know that.
Although we mentioned that, I don't know how to else say it.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm working, I'm texting the people I know.
So with that said, I know that we're going to be eating. People want to go to the game, but I want to read something that we just got too. I just opened this in the mail this morning. It says, "Thank you, Caddo Nation Council members. I would like to thank you for your assistance in helping my grandson, Kenneth Jesse, get his leadership conference in Boston. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you. Love always." This young man went to Boston related to, he wants to be a medical doctor, and he aced it. And we helped him travel there so that he can participate like all the other students. And this is a thank you card. And so I think that's really good. Oh yeah, Steve, while other people are getting online, can you come up and talk just briefly a little bit about where we are with WCD lands and kind of just give us an update?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Well, I think as the tribal members and are well aware, The WCD lands are about 2,700 acres, give or take, at the south end of the original reservation. This land at allotment was retained by the United States for school, farms, other purposes. And in the 1960s and 70s and 80s, the Secretary of the Interior restored this land to all three tribes for the benefit of all three tribes. Title is still in the United States of America in trust for the benefit of all three tribes. This dispute is one of these things that happens when tribes share reservations. Sometimes they get on each other's nerves. And in this case, the basic issue is, do the federal leasing regulations apply? When a tribe uses part of the land, does it have to get a lease under the regulations? And does it have to get approval from the other beneficial owners? The answer under federal law, under the regulations, is very clearly yes. One of our sister tribes has moved forward with some developments, and that's what caused this dispute in the beginning. Where it is that there have been appeals to the bureau, to the agency, to the region, and now the matter is before the Interior Board of Indian Appeals, which is the court administrative tribunal at the Department of Interior that handles appeals under the regulations. It has almost been fully briefed, and I can tell you from experience that this tribunal moves very slowly. I have a case that's been there. I have a couple of cases actually for other clients that have been there 5-6 years. So as of early November, this will have been fully briefed, and it's going to be there a while. The law is on the nation's side. The law is pretty clear. I think in my view, this will at some point work itself out, probably before the IBIA makes a decision. But it is what it is. I don't think the tribe should worry about this. If there are any questions, I'm glad to answer them. But the dispute is whether each tribe has to get an approved lease to develop from the Bureau of Indian Affairs to develop parts of the WCD reserve. So some of the tribes do that. One of the tribes, the Wichita tribe, built a convenience store and has done some other development without getting approval and without getting a lease. What they've already done? I'm sorry. It's already happened. It's already happened. I'll add a comment. This could be off the record, but the leadership has really expressed to me, and I completely agree, that fights between tribes really are not very productive in the end. And so our legal strategy on behalf of the tribe has been to just be straight down the middle with the law. We just want the regulations to be enforced. We have, in our briefing, not attacked the Wichita Nation. We've really just tried to play this down the middle. And I think we'll just wait and see at this point. This is likely not going to resolve itself for a long time.
You work with tribes all over the country. I hit up on we're ahead far as from your perspective. To say something about
well, in short, the Caddo Nation has moved faster and has done more in the last 2 years than probably any other tribe I've ever assisted. I've practiced Indian law since 1993, November 1993. And I was fortunate to have a chance to interview with the council in July of 2021. This is a great tribe. You have a great population base. You have a great history, great background, but you really had been stuck for a while. But things have moved forward so fast. And I could go on and on. I really am really proud all the time. Bobby mentioned a couple of highlights to him recently. They happen regularly, almost every month or every couple of weeks. Getting the bond for Arrowwood was a huge accomplishment. It's not a matter of just calling an insurance company and getting a bond. We underwent legal scrutiny, the new laws that we've passed since 2021 to create these entities were all scrutinized. The quality of the team at Arrowwood was an issue that was given a lot of scrutiny. We passed muster, and the bond was issued, I guess, Thursday. Getting that piece of paper was a high point, but there have been a lot of others. Your daycare center really wows me. The nation's leadership went to really a top-notch architectural firm, and I'm not trying to just pass along compliments either, but it really that gets me here when I see that daycare center, because it is truly a unique facility. Most tribes in Oklahoma and elsewhere, when they get a daycare center, they just get some funding, they get the grant funding, and there are architects in Oklahoma that have basically a package, a plan, canned plans for a daycare center. And that's what most tribes get. And you are getting a world-class, you have a world-class design, and is really unique to that site, to the tribe. I've been around a lot of the meetings. That is a showpiece, and there are others on the way. So, thank you. I'm the one who can say thanks, by the way. I will tell you just one thing. Someone mentioned this earlier, but in my time around the tribe, I really do get the feeling that this tribe, the people in this tribe, care about each other. And that is something that is going to help the tribe move forward. Tribes that have turnover in the leadership all the time, have internal disputes, just can't ever get anywhere business-wise and creating jobs and opportunities and services for the members. I just get a great feeling at your tribe. So thank you for this opportunity.
Okay, so appreciate that. And before we break for lunch, we have people online that's been disconnected. We put it out there that we're back up. Sorry for those that didn't reconnect. But those that are online, if you can hear me, if you would like to open a mic, I think somebody might have a question or so. We can do that at this time. Please state your name as well.
Right? Totally, we can hear.
Diane Parton, you need to please unmute yourself.
Good morning, Chairman Gonzalez. Good morning, Council. I have a question. This is a question from via another member, but she kind of shy. It's regarding veterans tags. Other tribes seem to have a designation on their tags for veterans. My understanding is the Caddo Nation doesn't. And I was wondering if you guys could look into that and see if we could get that.
Yeah. Yes, we do have veterans tags.
Oh, okay, great. Then I hope
We
whoever
have
asked,
some of our veterans in this room right now, they have veterans tags on their.
okay, great. Thank you. And I hope whoever asked me to ask that question understands we do have veterans tags and you need to go to the tag office and talk to them about it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so just, we'll take another question. All right, appreciate everybody being online and those that are in the room. And just so that everyone knows, we want you to get involved with the tribe as the tribe grows, and we want you to continue to have a say in this tribe. And if you feel like you're not being involved, we're as elected leaders, it's our job to do what we can to involve you. But you have to show up as well. And we may agree, we may not agree, we may disagree, but at least we're going to listen to one another and we're going to move forward. We have over 7,000 people. I'm not here for one person, one family. I'm here for everyone, and we're here for each other. And so appreciate everyone being online and the council for being here. Michaela.
Excuse me.
Thank you, Diana. She said about the tags, our veteran tags. I see the Kiowa tags, they're pretty nice. I'll go to our tag agency and I can't even I'm tax exempt for my tags. They shouldn't be only about $50, Elizabeth I don't know if she doesn't know how to do it or if she charges me for the full price. Also, we don't have, who was it that brought up a design, not changing but something about our tags. Remember that topic? Yeah, a veteran tag, let us stand out. They're really not, the Kiowa's got it really nice going, their veteran tag. If we could just get up to par, like with ours, that would be nice. Or even personalized Caddo tags. Something dealing with their tags. Yeah, that's what me and Diana was talking about. Thank you. Andrea has she can't hear y'all.
I think I can
Anyone
hear
has any
now.
questions, or you're going to have to help us out and unmute your mic, or if you'd like to say something, you have to raise your hand in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
As far as the new constitution, is there a draft or is it just nothing right now?
There was a question asked about the new constitution, if there was a draft by David Scholes. No, not at the moment. It's a listening session, town hall meetings, surveys, mail outs. Todd Goodman's leading that.
So with the present one, you see like short lines there, nothing like that would work.
Yes, yes, the constitution of the tribe.
I mean, that could come from the conversation too, just put something out there like, these are the things that are working right now. So
Right, exactly. Right, that's exactly what, so the question was raised is what's wrong with the Constitution? What's wrong with it in today's day and age? Right, what are we looking for? The Constitution that the Caddo Nation has today, it doesn't fit today's day and age, right? And it was forced on us as a sovereign nation. And so you can read it a lot of different ways. It depends on how you interpret the Constitution. And it's a one-tier government. And anytime you have a one-tier government, that does not succeed. It actually becomes a dictatorship. What we want to see is a three-tier government, like not all power vested in one, right? There has to be a Senate, a Congress, right? There has to be elected leaders, there has to be a process. But those listening sessions are for you to weigh in on. Yes. Yes, they're having open meetings, town hall meetings and district meetings, right? And you would see more and more online. Just, stay tuned, if you can, get involved in those meetings and, that way you can, I really have to say that since I have David Scholes here and he's in the room, he wrote his master's thesis on the underdevelopment of the Caddo Nation. And it really ticked me off. And I didn't understand what in the world he meant. And me and him, I was like, this really makes me mad. And I was young, right? And when I read it, it just really got under my skin. I was like, well, what does he mean, the underdevelopment of the tribe? And well, I get it today. It makes sense because of all the fighting and the turmoil and the things that went on that held us back. So I want to thank you for a pivotal moment in my life that made me realize what you were trying to say. Now what we're trying to do is correct the Constitution collectively with all our members, because you all have a stake, everyone has a stake, is to have something that will move us to the, for the next 200-300 years.
I think what you said was right. This is what the law tribe thing. The statistics are historically of dealing with the cows. We never had a check before. So it was all new for us, and it didn't always.
I wish you could say that in mine.
Didn't always work.
So I got to take Mr. Scholes the mic. He actually, I think he retired from the Forest Service as well.
So hopefully, yeah, a new constitution, I think, is something really important we need. And it's that it can reflect more of our historic way that we governed ourselves. I know one thing I pointed out the other day was that I live in Virginia now, so I don't have a representative. There's no representative up there. That's something to look at too. Where are all the Caddo people? How can we make sure that they all have a representative too, and not just at large like I am? So I think that hopefully there gets a lot of talk. I think if we can put a few things about the problems of the new one, maybe some kind of draft so something people can say, I like this or I don't like that. Thanks.
Taking it away from you.
Thank you, David. With what David just said, David, with these listening sessions, did I get cut off? Okay, with these listening sessions, that's gonna continue on across the country, not just locally. Is that when they do have a draft based on what they hear you say, that draft will come back to you, will come back to the members, right? From everything that they hear, here's a draft of what this looks like. When the government and the leadership feels that it's comfortable based on what we've heard, then it will go up to a vote and on a ballot and an election process. And so, but we have to, the council has authority to change the Constitution. We don't believe in that. We believe in allowing the people to make the choice, because this is a living document and we're not the end all and be all. It's not by choice that we're here, right? It's supply and demand. We just happen to be here right now. And what we want to do is put ourselves in a position to where it's going to help us for hundreds of years. And so we have to have your input. So this is your time to help us create that. I appreciate everyone being here. We have a young lady online. I think it's Andrea. Andrea, if you can unmute yourself, appreciate it.
Good morning. Can you help hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Let me actually it's a perfect segue to what I wanted to say. It's actually a statement that I have. I've been praying on this since the last time we talked about it, and it does go about the Constitution, and I've just really been I'm just not at peace with it. I just feel some kind of way. So I'm not saying that's out of disrespect for anybody or to anybody, but it has to do with the memberships participating and voting on things. And in the last membership, I don't know if it was documented. I wanted it to be documented, but it wasn't, because I did have concerns about us not being able to vote on any of decisions that were being made. In the past, we were included, but you said, you had mentioned that the council has authority to, like you say, make the decisions. And so you guys are choosing to make the decisions. And, I do agree with some of them. And I think you guys are doing a great time, but there's still something in me that is unsettled. And so I'm going to read this, okay? Since our tribe of 7,000 plus members is no longer a democracy and all decisions are made by the council, I would like the minutes to reflect that all council members will be responsible for all tribal business and the people they hire from the outside per vetting or background checks. The buck stops with you guys. In the past, there has been no accountability nor action taken against tribal leaders for theft or being irresponsible for our tribal businesses and programs failing. Even in those councils, past councils, we were given some information prior to the decision making. I realized they did what they wanted anyways, and it hurt our people, but there was no accountability. This request is by no means out of disrespect. It is about accountability and to safeguard our people. And that's the statement that I would like added to the minutes. Hello?
Yeah, appreciate that, Andrea. That's a statement from you as a member.
Yes, it is.
And, I appreciate you saying what you said. And before we eat, I just want to let everyone know that as elected officials, we're doing everything what we can in our power to safeguard the Constitution of the tribe and how we operate. Everything is vetted legally. We have rules that we have to follow. I'll give you an example. This letter I just opened it this morning. This is from the Federal Bureau of Investigation that sees a large number of Native American human remains and artifacts in a sting operation where the FBI has invited me to participate and to make sure that our ancestors are repatriated that were part of this looting activity by this individual. This is from the Federal Bureau. This is from the U.S. Department of Justice. Make no mistake about it. This council is following the Constitution